The alien princess hated humans, until one won her heart on the battlefield Sci-fi. The sun of the distant planet glared off the metal of their armor. It was a world far from Earth, one humans had barely seen in passing. Yet here, in the middle of this barren field, a single human army was about to face the might of the alien empire. Among the alien leaders stood the princess, Lyra. Her armor shimmered like liquid metal, reflecting the chaos around her. She had always hated humans. Their reputation as unpredictable and reckless fighters had spread across the galaxies, earning them nothing but contempt from her people. She had fought many battles, and she had always been certain that the humans would crumble under pressure, just like every other race before them. Lyra's dark eyes scanned the field. Her expression was cold, almost cruel. "They are foolish," she said, her voice carrying clearly across the battlefield to her commanders. "They think they can survive us. They will not last 5 minutes." Her second-in-command, a tall alien named Kale, nodded. "Your Highness, they are outnumbered. Our ships can destroy their lines before they even touch us." Lyra's lips curved in a thin smile. "I don't care about numbers. I want to see them break." She turned her gaze toward a single figure moving across the rough ground. The human looked small, almost fragile among the smoke and craters, yet something in his stance caught her attention. The human's name was Jack Harris. He was a captain, not just any soldier. His team had survived countless missions, often outnumbered and outgunned, and had returned victorious every time. His hair was dark, cut short for practicality, and his face carried the roughness of someone who had seen war too many times. But his eyes, clear and calm, seemed to see through chaos without fear. Jack crouched behind a large piece of rubble, scanning the alien formation. His team was hidden nearby, using the shadows of the craters to stay out of sight. He could feel the tension in the air, the quiet before the storm. He had been briefed on the aliens' tactics, their advanced technology and their deadly weapons. But Jack was not afraid. Fear was something humans felt when they had no plan. Jack had a plan. He glanced at his team. There was Sarah, a sharpshooter with steady hands and nerves of steel. Her red hair was tied back and her eyes never missed a target. Next to her was Leo, the communications officer, constantly scanning for signals from the alien fleet. And then there was Mia, the medic, ready to act if anything went wrong. They trusted Jack as he trusted them. Lyra noticed the small group. Her curiosity sharpened. She had never seen humans move like this before, quiet, precise, confident. Most of the races she had faced panicked under the shadow of her fleet. Not these humans. Something about them intrigued her, though she refused to admit it. She wanted to destroy them, yet part of her could not look away. The first strike came suddenly. A wave of alien drones shot forward, their engines humming like angry insects. The ground shook as energy blasts carved holes into the soil. Jack raised his hand, signaling his team to spread out. "Move left. Use the crater as cover," he whispered. The humans scattered, moving with the practiced ease of soldiers who had been through worse. Bullets and energy beams sizzled past them. One of the drones tried to flank, but Sarah's precise aim brought it down before it could reach them. Jack moved forward, his eyes never leaving the alien princess. Lyra observed his movements, impressed despite herself. He was not reckless, yet he was bold. She had expected humans to hide, to panic, to retreat. Instead, this human advanced steadily as if daring her to notice him. "Stop looking," Kale whispered. "Do not let him distract you." Lyra shook her head slightly. "No, I want to see more." The battle grew louder. Explosions and gunfire echoed across the field. Jack's team pressed forward, taking out enemy turrets and avoiding patrols. Every move they made seemed small, almost insignificant, but together, they were creating chaos within the alien lines. Jack ducked behind another piece of rubble and noticed a small hatch in the alien ground vehicle. He nodded to Sarah. "Cover me. I'm going in." Sarah raised her rifle, ready to fire if any alien tried to stop him. Jack sprinted to the hatch, slid inside, and began to work on the controls. His fingers moved quickly over the alien technology, scanning symbols and patterns. Humans had a strange advantage. They could improvise. The aliens relied on strict protocols. Jack could bend the rules of the alien machinery without hesitation. Inside the vehicle, he activated a small override. Sparks flew and the vehicle shuddered, then began moving under his control. He smiled. This was exactly what he had hoped for. With a few strategic moves, he could turn the alien machines against them, creating a domino effect that the princess would never expect. Outside, Lyra watched, sensing the shift in the battlefield. Something was different. The drones seemed to hesitate. Alien turrets fired erratically. Her soldiers were being disrupted in ways they could not understand. She narrowed her eyes. "What is that human doing?" she asked, though her voice carried more curiosity than anger. Kale frowned. "I do not know, Princess, but he is clever. Perhaps too clever for his own good." Lyra did not respond. She wanted to see more. Humans were unpredictable, and unpredictability was rare in the universe. Most species followed patterns, obeyed orders, and feared chaos. These humans embraced it. Jack exited the vehicle, signaling to his team. The alien machines he had hijacked began attacking their own lines. Chaos erupted, and the humans took advantage. Jack moved quickly, leading his team deeper into the alien formation. Mia tended to minor injuries without hesitation, her calm presence keeping the team focused. Leo hacked into alien communications, redirecting orders and spreading misinformation. Together, they were a small storm in the heart of the alien empire. Lyra's fascination grew. She had faced thousands of enemies, yet this human seemed different. He did not fight with rage or hatred. He fought with skill and determination. There was a strange strength in him, something she had never seen before. The princess made a decision. She would not intervene yet. She wanted to see how far he could go, how much chaos he could cause. The humans were bold, but boldness could lead to mistakes, and she wanted to see if this human would make one. Jack led his team to the command center of the alien fleet. It was heavily guarded, but he had already disrupted many of the defenses. The aliens were confused, unsure of what was happening. Jack's strategy relied on this confusion. He moved silently, communicating only with gestures. The closer they got, the more dangerous it became. Alien soldiers noticed the disruption and began organizing counterattacks. Jack's team fought fiercely, but they were careful. Every shot counted, every move was calculated. Lyra watched from above, feeling a strange thrill. The humans were fighting with something she could not understand. They were not reckless. They were not careless. They were alive in a way her people rarely were. Finally, Jack reached the central control tower. He could see the entire battlefield from there. Alien soldiers tried to stop him, but he and his team were ready. With precise coordination, they eliminated the guards and took control of the systems. The alien princess could no longer ignore him. She descended from her ship, her presence commanding the battlefield. The humans froze for a moment, recognizing the authority and power of the alien princess. But Jack did not flinch. Lyra landed a short distance from him, her armor glinting in the sunlight. She studied him carefully. "You are brave," she said, her voice calm but sharp. "Most humans would have died by now." Jack met her gaze evenly. "We don't give up easily," he replied. "That's how we survive." Lyra's eyes narrowed, intrigued. She had expected fear, begging, or surrender, not calm confidence. She did not like humans, yet she could not look away from this one. There was something about him, something strong, something rare. The battle continued around them, but for a moment it felt as if time had slowed. Two leaders, one human, one alien, standing in the midst of chaos. Each measured the other, understanding that this meeting was more than chance. Jack knew the fight was far from over. The alien forces were vast and his team was small. But for the first time he felt a strange sense of connection with the enemy. Not friendship, not trust, yet, but respect perhaps. Lyra felt it too, though she would never admit it. This human, Jack Harris, was different from every enemy she had faced, and she hated that thought. The battle was not over. The human and his team had taken the first step into the heart of the alien empire, but the war was just beginning. And the alien princess, who had hated humans all her life, found herself thinking about him in ways she could not explain. She turned back to her fleet, her mind racing. "Prepare for the next wave," she commanded, "but keep an eye on him." Kale looked at her confused. "Keep an eye, princess, he is only one human." Lyra's eyes did not leave Jack. "Perhaps," she said softly, "but he is unlike any human I have ever seen." The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows over the battlefield. The humans advanced, the aliens reorganized, and the princess watched, torn between hatred and fascination. And in that moment, the first threads of something neither had expected began to weave, a connection that could change the course of the war, and perhaps the fate of both their worlds. Jack did not know it yet, but the eyes of the enemy princess were upon him. And for the first time in her life, Lyra felt something she had never allowed herself to feel: curiosity and perhaps admiration. The battle would continue tomorrow. But something new had begun on the battlefield. A spark, small and fragile, that could grow into something far greater than either of them imagined. The sun had set, and the battlefield was quiet now, but the air was thick with tension. Smoke rose from craters and burning alien machines. The humans had survived the first wave, but the war was far from over. Jack Harris and his team crouched behind a ridge, catching their breath. Their faces were smudged with dirt, but their eyes were bright with determination. "Everyone okay?" Jack asked, scanning his team. Sarah nodded, wiping a streak of dust from her cheek. "We're fine, but that princess, she's not like the others. She watches everything." Leo frowned, adjusting his earpiece. "I can feel her attention. It's strange. I've never sensed anything like it from an enemy commander." Mia shook her head. "It's unnerving, but let's focus. We need a plan for the next attack." Jack looked at the horizon where the alien fleet still hovered. "She is strong," he said, "and clever, but humans are adaptable. We have to use that. We need to move at night, avoid the main patrols, and strike where they least expect us." The team nodded, trusting his judgment. They had followed him through worse situations, and somehow they always made it through. Meanwhile, high above, Lyra watched them from her ship. The battlefield below was calm now, but she could feel the energy. The humans were alive, moving quietly, almost like shadows. She could not understand it. Other races would have crumbled by now. But these humans, they were patient, cunning, and brave. Kale approached her, bowing slightly. "Your Highness, they are only a few. We can crush them in the morning." Lyra's gaze remained fixed on the humans. "Perhaps," she said softly. "But they are not like any enemy I have faced before. That human, the one leading them, he is different." Kale raised an eyebrow. "Different? He is only one man, one human." Lyra did not answer immediately. She had never admitted this before, not even to herself. But something about Jack Harris made her heart beat faster. It was irritating, and she hated that feeling. "Keep the scouts close," she said finally. "But watch him. I want to see what he does next." Below, Jack and his team moved carefully through the ruins. The night was dark, the sky filled with stars, and the alien ships glowed faintly with blue lights. Every step had to be measured. One mistake could cost their lives. "Keep quiet," Jack whispered. "We don't want her noticing us yet." They crept through the alien lines, avoiding patrols and using shadows as cover. Jack led them to a small outpost, a place where the aliens stored weapons and supplies. Taking it over could give them an advantage. Sarah pointed ahead. "Two guards moving toward the east entrance." Jack nodded. "I'll take the left. Sarah, you cover the right. Mia and Leo stay behind for support." They moved swiftly. Jack's movements were precise, almost like a dance. In seconds, the guards were neutralized silently. The team entered the outpost, carefully checking for traps. Inside, they found crates of alien weapons and armor. Jack's eyes lit up. "This will help us," he said, opening one crate. "If we can use their own weapons against them, we can turn the tide." Leo examined a communication panel. "I can hack their system, maybe even send false signals to the fleet. It could create confusion during the next attack." Jack nodded. "Do it. Every advantage counts." Outside, Lyra watched from a distance. She had sensed the humans entering the outpost. Her curiosity deepened. She had expected fear or hesitation. Instead, they moved with confidence. She could not look away, even though she told herself to hate them. Kale looked worried. "Princess, you should not linger. The humans may notice." Lyra shook her head. "No, I want to see them work. There is something remarkable about this one." Back at the outpost, Jack and his team worked quickly. Leo hacked into the alien system, sending false alerts and changing patrol routes. Sarah and Jack prepared weapons, checking them carefully. Mia tended to minor scrapes and cuts, her calm presence keeping the team focused. As they finished, Jack looked out the window of the outpost. The alien fleet seemed to pause, confused by the sudden disruptions. This was their chance. "Tonight we strike," he said. "We hit their supply lines, disable key ships, and get out before dawn." The team nodded. They had trained for situations like this, but even they felt a thrill of danger. Every human had a spark that refused to die, and it burned brightly tonight. Meanwhile, Lyra could not stop watching. She followed their movements through her monitors, noticing how Jack coordinated his team. He was calm, strategic, fearless. Most humans would panic in such situations, but he remained steady. Kale frowned. "Princess, you are taking too much interest. Remember, we are at war. Do not let emotions cloud your judgment." Lyra did not respond immediately. She had never allowed herself to feel anything like this. But as she observed Jack, she felt a pull she could not name. It was frustration, fascination, and something else, all at once. The humans moved under cover of darkness. Jack led them to the supply line using small tunnels and hidden paths he had noticed earlier. The alien patrols passed by without seeing them. Each step was careful, each decision precise. Jack signaled to Sarah. She fired a small charge at the supply crates, and they exploded in a controlled blast. The humans ducked behind rocks as fire and smoke rose. The explosion destroyed valuable supplies, and alien soldiers rushed to respond, confused by the sudden attack. "Good work," Jack whispered. "Now we move to the next target." Leo sent a signal through the alien communication system, causing more confusion. Patrols moved in the wrong direction. Ships fired at empty spaces. The humans were using their enemy's own technology against them. Lyra could feel her anger growing, mixed with curiosity. This human was clever, almost too clever. She had expected him to fail, but he kept succeeding. And yet she did not want him to fail. That thought scared her. The team reached a smaller command post. Jack motioned for silence and led them inside. He quickly took control of the systems, sending false orders and sabotaging alien plans. Mia worked quietly, keeping the team safe. Sarah covered the exits, ready to fire if anyone approached. Leo manipulated the alien technology, turning their systems into tools for the humans. Jack paused for a moment, looking at the control panels. He could feel the power he held. One wrong move could reveal them, but one right move could cripple the alien forces. He smiled slightly. "Almost there," he whispered. Outside, Lyra made her decision. She could not stay in her ship any longer. She had to see him in person. Not to fight him yet, not to stop him, but to understand him. She landed a short distance away, moving silently. Kale looked shocked. "Princess, what are you doing? Do not approach them." Lyra ignored him. She stepped closer, her eyes fixed on Jack. She wanted to see how he would react. Most humans would panic, would flee, would attack blindly, but not this one. He remained calm, focused, aware. Jack sensed her presence. He did not turn immediately. He had faced many enemies, and he could feel when someone powerful approached. Slowly, he looked up. Lyra stood there, her armor gleaming faintly in the moonlight. She did not raise a weapon. She simply watched, studying him. Jack's team tensed, ready to fight, but Jack raised a hand. "Wait," he said quietly. "She's not attacking." Lyra's eyes met his. "You are brave," she said again. "And clever. Most humans would have died long ago." Jack nodded. "We survive because we adapt, and we fight for each other." Lyra tilted her head, intrigued by his words. She had heard many excuses, many claims of bravery, but this human spoke with honesty. He did not boast, he did not threaten, he simply stated the truth. Kale watched nervously. "Princess, do not let him distract you. We are at war." Lyra ignored him. She could not explain why she felt drawn to this human. Perhaps it was his courage, his confidence, or something deeper she did not yet understand. Jack studied her carefully. He knew she was powerful, dangerous, and capable of ending them all. But he also sensed that she was curious, watching him with more than just interest in battle. The night stretched on, silent except for the distant sounds of alien ships and distant patrols. Jack and his team prepared to leave, their mission complete. Lyra took a step closer, lowering her voice. "You are unlike any human I have ever seen," she said softly. Jack met her gaze. "And you are unlike any alien I have faced." For a moment the battlefield felt still. Two warriors, leaders of different worlds, standing close in the darkness. The war had not ended, but something had begun. The humans disappeared into the shadows, leaving Lyra to watch. She could not look away. Her hatred for humans had not vanished, but a new feeling had taken root. Curiosity, fascination, and perhaps something more she would not admit. The night ended with the humans safe, the aliens confused, and the princess unsure of what she had just witnessed. And as the first light of dawn touched the battlefield, both sides knew that the war was far from over. But a new chapter had begun, one that neither Jack nor Lyra could ignore. The morning sun rose over the battlefield, casting long shadows across the ruined land. Smoke still curled from the fires the humans had started the night before. Alien soldiers moved carefully among the wreckage, trying to assess the damage. The humans had disappeared under the cover of darkness, leaving only confusion and fear behind. Jack Harris and his team returned to a temporary camp in a small valley. The air was cold, and the wind carried the scent of burned metal and scorched earth. They were tired but alive. For now, that was enough. "We did what we came for," Jack said quietly, checking the map he had drawn. "We hit their supply lines and disrupted their communications. That will slow them down for at least a day." Sarah nodded, adjusting her rifle. "But they will regroup quickly. We need a plan for when they counterattack." Leo frowned, looking at the horizon where alien ships patrolled. "They'll be ready. They won't make the same mistake twice." Mia sighed, tending to minor injuries. "I just hope we're not underestimating them. They are powerful and they can be ruthless." Jack looked at his team. They were brave, skilled, and loyal. They had survived countless battles together. "We adapt," he said. "That's how humans survive. We fight smart, not just hard. We stay alive because we think." Far above, Lyra watched the humans from her ship. She had spent the night observing them, and her thoughts were conflicted. She had hated humans all her life, but Jack Harris had changed something inside her. He was clever, brave, and calm under pressure. And he had survived where others would have failed. Kale approached her, bowing slightly. "Princess, they have done significant damage. Our forces are ready to strike back. You should prepare the fleet." Lyra shook her head. "I am watching," she said softly. "Not for revenge, not yet. I want to see what they do next." Kale frowned. "Your Highness, they are only humans. They cannot match our strength." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Perhaps, but strength is not only in numbers or weapons. It is in courage, strategy, and willpower. And that human, he has all three." Below, Jack and his team prepared for the next mission. They had learned a lot from the previous night's attack. They knew the aliens' patrol patterns, their weak points, and their communication flaws. They also knew that Lyra was observing them. "Do you think she will attack?" Sarah asked quietly. Jack shook his head. "I don't know, but I know she is curious. That can work to our advantage. We need to use her curiosity, not her anger." Leo looked at him, puzzled. "How do we do that?" Jack smiled faintly. "By making her underestimate us in the way she expects humans to fail. We show confidence but avoid recklessness. We move carefully, strike when she least expects it, and always keep her guessing." Mia looked concerned. "It sounds dangerous," Jack nodded. "It is, but every mission is dangerous. We survive because we prepare and adapt. That's what makes us human." The humans moved out, careful to stay hidden in the valleys and craters. They approached an alien command post, one of the few remaining intact after their previous attacks. The post was heavily guarded, but Jack had a plan. "We'll split into 2 teams," he said. "Sarah and I will take the front entrance. Leo and Mia will go to the back. We disable their communication first, then the weapons. That will create confusion and we can control the battlefield." The team nodded, moving into position. The alien soldiers patrolled the area, unaware of the humans creeping closer. Jack signaled to Sarah and they moved swiftly, avoiding detection. Inside the command post, the aliens had set traps and alarms. Jack noticed them and signaled his team to be careful. Every step had to be precise. One mistake could alert the entire post. Sarah covered the doorway as Jack moved forward. His hands worked quickly, disarming alarms and opening locked panels. He could hear the distant sounds of Lyra's fleet adjusting patrols in response to the chaos they had caused. She was watching, no doubt, and Jack hoped she would stay focused on observation rather than attack. Meanwhile, Leo and Mia entered from the back. Leo quickly hacked the systems, redirecting patrols and sending false messages to the alien fleet. Mia kept an eye on their surroundings, ready to act if anyone discovered them. The humans moved like shadows, silent and precise. They were small in number, but every move was calculated. The aliens had power, numbers, and weapons, but they were unprepared for the human strategy and coordination. Jack finally reached the central control room. From there, he could see the battlefield, the positions of alien ships, and the weak points in their defenses. He smiled faintly. This was the moment. "Leo, start the override," Jack said. Leo's fingers flew across the controls. The alien systems shuddered, then went dark in some areas. Turrets fired randomly, patrols moved in wrong directions, and confusion spread like wildfire. Outside, the humans used the chaos to advance. Sarah and Jack took out guards quietly, clearing the way for the team. Mia tended to minor injuries, her calm presence keeping the team steady. Lyra watched from above, her emotions conflicted. She had never seen a human operate like this. Most species would have panicked or fled under pressure, but Jack and his team moved with skill, intelligence, and courage. She felt an unfamiliar respect growing inside her, even though she refused to admit it. Kale frowned, noticing the princess's distraction. "Princess, do not let him get under your skin. Focus on the battle." Lyra shook her head slightly. "I am focused," she said, but even as she spoke, she could not look away. The humans completed their mission in the command post. They disabled weapons, disrupted communications, and created confusion in the alien lines. The aliens were forced to retreat, unsure of what had happened. Jack signaled to his team, "Move out. We've done enough for now." The humans disappeared into the shadows, leaving behind a battlefield in disarray. The aliens regrouped, angry and confused, but the humans had already planned their escape. Lyra descended from her ship again, closer this time. She needed to see him not as an enemy but as someone she could not understand. Her hatred for humans was strong, but her fascination with Jack Harris was stronger. Jack sensed her presence and stopped for a moment. He did not raise a weapon. He had faced many powerful enemies, but this one was different. She was strong, intelligent, and dangerous, but she was also watching him with something he could not name. "You are daring," Lyra said softly. "Most humans would not have done what you just did." Jack nodded. We survive because we take risks. We fight smart and we fight together. Lyra studied him. Together, she asked, a small smile forming on her lips. Even with enemies, Jack shrugged. Even with enemies, survival is about trust and teamwork. And right now, that's what matters. Kale watched nervously. Princess, do not let him distract you. The humans are dangerous, but we have strength in numbers. Lyra ignored him. I am not distracted, she said, but inside she felt a pull she did not understand. She had never allowed herself to feel anything like this. She hated humans, but this one, he was different. Jack and his team moved out, returning to their hidden camp. They had succeeded in another mission, but the war was far from over. Every step they took brought them closer to the heart of the alien empire, and every move was dangerous. Lyra followed at a distance, careful not to reveal herself. She needed to understand him, to see what made this human so different. She hated that she was curious, that she wanted to watch him more than defeat him. The humans rested briefly, tending to injuries and planning their next move. Jack looked at his team. We've done well, but the real challenge is still ahead. The princess will be expecting us to fail, but we will not. We adapt, we survive, and we fight. Sarah smiled faintly. I like the way you think, Jack. Leo nodded. We have a chance to turn this war around if we keep moving smartly. Mia added, and we survive because we have each other. That's what makes us strong. Jack looked at the horizon where Lyra's fleet hovered. Yes, he said quietly. And sometimes strength is about understanding your enemy. We need to know her, her tactics, and her limits. Lyra watched from above, her thoughts tangled. She hated humans, but Jack Harris had earned a part of her attention and respect. She did not know why, and she did not want to admit it, but she could not look away. The sun set again, painting the sky with red and orange. The battlefield was quiet, but tension hung in the air. Both sides knew the war was far from over. The humans had gained a small advantage, but the alien empire was vast, powerful, and relentless. Jack and his team prepared for another night mission, ready to continue their fight. Lyra prepared her fleet, torn between her duty and her fascination with the human leader. And as darkness fell over the battlefield, two leaders, one human, one alien, stood in the shadows, their destinies beginning to intertwine in ways neither fully understood. The war would continue, but something new had started between them. Something dangerous, unpredictable, and powerful. And neither Jack nor Lyra could ignore it. Night had fallen again, and the battlefield was cloaked in darkness. The air smelled of smoke and scorched metal, and the ground was uneven from craters and debris. Jack Harris and his team moved carefully through the ruins, silent and alert. Every shadow could hide danger, every sound could mean attack, but they were ready. Stay close and follow my lead, Jack whispered to his team. We are going to hit their main energy hub tonight. It's their source of power for the fleet. If we can destroy it, we can slow them down for days. Sarah adjusted her rifle. And the princess, Jack shook his head. She's out there watching. We can't avoid her completely, but we can make her focus on the chaos we create, not on us. That's our advantage, Leo frowned. I don't like it. She's clever, too clever. One mistake and it's over for us. Mia placed a hand on his shoulder. We've faced worse. Trust Jack. Jack gave a small smile. Thanks, Mia. We survived together. That's what makes us strong. Far above, Lyra hovered in her ship, watching the humans carefully. She had followed their movements all evening. She could not explain why she was so drawn to Jack Harris. He was reckless, daring, and fearless, but he was also precise, intelligent, and patient. Most humans she had encountered were either panicked or arrogant. Jack was neither. Kale approached her, bowing slightly. Princess, they are moving toward the energy hub. This is dangerous. You should intervene. Lyra's dark eyes followed Jack's team as they moved below. No, she said softly. I want to see how far they will go. I want to see him lead, survive, and adapt. That is more interesting than destroying them now. Kale frowned. You are letting curiosity risk our entire fleet. Lyra ignored him. Her attention remained on Jack. There was something about him that she could not name, something that made her heart beat faster despite herself. Jack and his team approached the energy hub carefully. Alien patrols moved around the perimeter and the structure was heavily guarded. Jack signaled for his team to split into two groups. "Sarah and I will take the front," he whispered. "Leo and Mia, you go around the back. Disable communications first. Once we create confusion, we move on the main power core." The team nodded, moving silently. The night was quiet except for distant engine hums and the occasional burst of alien energy weapons. Jack and Sarah crept forward, hiding behind walls and debris. He signaled her to wait. They watched two alien guards walk past, their weapons glowing faintly in the dark. When the guards were out of sight, Jack moved swiftly, neutralizing them silently. Meanwhile, Leo and Mia reached the back entrance. Leo hacked the door's security panel and it opened with a soft click. They slipped inside, careful to avoid detection. Mia kept watch as Leo accessed the control systems. The humans worked like shadows, quiet, precise, and deadly. Every step was calculated, every move designed to create maximum disruption with minimal exposure. Jack finally reached the main hall. The energy core glowed brightly, humming with power. He signaled to Sarah, "Place the charges. We need to disable it completely." Sarah nodded, setting the explosives with careful precision. Jack kept watch, scanning for patrols. Meanwhile, Leo sent false commands through the alien communication network. Patrols moved in the wrong directions, creating chaos among the alien forces. Mia worked to ensure no alarms were triggered, her steady hands and calm voice keeping them focused. From above, Lyra watched closely. She had expected humans to struggle or panic. Instead, they moved with confidence, strategy, and skill. Her curiosity grew, mixed with frustration. She hated that she was drawn to them, that she wanted to see more rather than stop them immediately. Kale noticed her distraction again. "Princess, focus. If they succeed, they will destroy the energy hub. That will give them a dangerous advantage." Lyra ignored him. "Let them try," she whispered. "I want to see how far they will go." Jack signaled his team. "Charges are set. Leo, are communications disabled?" "Yes," Leo whispered. "They are moving blindly." "We have a few minutes before they realize the disruption." Jack nodded. "Good. Everyone fall back to the exit. Mia, watch the rear. Sarah, you and I will detonate on my mark." The team moved swiftly, exiting the energy hub just as alarms began to blare. Alien soldiers ran toward the hub, confused and uncoordinated. Jack and Sarah pressed a button on the detonator. The energy hub exploded in a brilliant flash, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. The humans ducked behind a ridge as debris flew through the air. The alien patrols were thrown into chaos. Ships hovered uncertainly, unsure of where to target, and communication lines were scrambled. Lyra descended closer, her eyes scanning the destruction. She had to admit it. Jack Harris had done what she did not expect any human to do. He had struck at the heart of the alien power with precision and courage. Kale looked furious. "Princess, this is a disaster. The humans are too clever, too daring. We must counterattack immediately." Lyra shook her head slightly. "Not yet. I want to see what they do next. I want to see how they survive this." Jack signaled to his team to move. "Follow me. We need to get back to camp before reinforcements arrive." The humans moved quickly, avoiding patrols and navigating through craters and debris. Every step was careful, every movement calculated. They had created chaos, but the aliens would recover quickly. Speed and stealth were their only advantage. From above, Lyra followed silently. She did not intervene, though every instinct in her body wanted to. She was both frustrated and fascinated. Jack Harris had changed something inside her, something she did not want to understand. The humans returned to their hidden camp, exhausted but triumphant. They had struck a significant blow to the alien forces. Jack gathered his team. "We did well tonight," he said quietly. "But this is only the beginning. The princess will respond and we need to be ready. We must continue to adapt, think ahead, and stay alive." Sarah smiled faintly. "You make it sound so simple." Jack shrugged. "It's not simple, it's survival. And survival is what makes humans strong." Leo nodded. "We've shown them we are dangerous. The princess will be watching more closely now. That could be a problem." Jack looked at the horizon where Lyra's fleet hovered, her dark eyes scanning for them. "Yes, she will. But curiosity can be more dangerous than anger. We will use it," Mia added quietly, "and we survive because we trust each other. That's what makes us strong." Jack looked at his team, pride in his eyes. "Exactly. Together we survive. Alone, any of us could fall. But together we are unstoppable." Lyra watched from above, torn between duty and fascination. She hated humans, yet she could not ignore Jack Harris. His courage, intelligence, and calm under pressure made her question everything she had believed about humans. The night ended with the humans safe and the alien fleet in disarray. But the princess had begun to change. Her hatred for humans had not vanished, but it was mixed now with curiosity and a strange, unrecognized respect. The battlefield would continue to be dangerous. The humans had won a small victory, but the war was far from over. Lyra prepared her forces, torn between following protocol and watching Jack Harris. Jack and his team rested briefly, knowing that the next day would bring new challenges. The humans had survived another night, but the real test was still ahead. The princess would not forget their boldness, and her strategies would grow more dangerous. Yet, even as both sides prepared for the next encounter, something new had started. A silent connection, born in the chaos of battle, was growing between Jack Harris and the alien princess. Neither fully understood it, but both felt it, even if they could not name it. And as the stars shone over the war-torn land, the humans and the alien fleet prepared for the battles to come, unaware that their destinies were becoming linked in ways that could change the fate of both worlds. The war was far from over, but something unexpected had begun, something neither human nor alien could ignore. The battlefield was quiet before the storm. Jack Harris and his team crouched among the ruins, listening to the distant hum of alien ships. The night was dark, but the stars above sparkled like tiny fires. Smoke from the previous battles hung in the air, mixing with the cold wind that blew across the cratered land. "This is it," Jack said quietly, checking his map. "We strike their main fleet tonight. It's risky, but it's our chance to end the war before more humans die." Sarah adjusted her rifle and nodded. "And the princess, she's watching us again. We can't ignore her." Jack shook his head. "We won't, but she underestimates what humans can do when we fight together. That's our advantage. We survive because we adapt, we think, and we trust each other." Leo frowned, tapping his earpiece. "The alien reinforcements are moving toward the central command. If they find us, it's over." Mia placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "We've faced worse, trust Jack. We make it through because we have each other." Jack smiled faintly. "Exactly. Together we survive." Far above, Lyra hovered in her ship, observing the humans carefully. She had watched them for days, and her thoughts were tangled. Her hatred for humans had not vanished, but Jack Harris had changed something inside her. He was clever, bold, and calm under pressure. Most humans panicked or acted recklessly. Jack was neither. Kale approached her. "Princess, the humans are moving toward the fleet. You must stop them now. This is dangerous. If they succeed, it will destroy everything we've built." Lyra shook her head. "No, I want to see how far they will go. I want to see him lead, survive, and adapt. That is more interesting than destroying them now." Kale frowned. "Your Highness, curiosity will cost us the war." Lyra's dark eyes were fixed on Jack's team below. "Curiosity is part of understanding," she said softly, "and I want to understand him." Jack led his team through the shadows, moving toward the central fleet. They knew the patrols, the weak points, and the timing of the ships. Every move had to be precise. Every step mattered. "Split into 2 teams," Jack whispered. "Sarah and I take the front. Leo and Mia, you take the back. Disable the shields first. Once the ships are exposed, we strike together." The team nodded. They moved like shadows, silent, careful, and deadly. Jack and Sarah approached the main entrance to the fleet. 2 alien guards patrolled the doorway. Jack signaled Sarah to wait. When the guards moved out of sight, they neutralized them quietly and slipped inside. Leo and Mia reached the back entrance. Leo hacked the security systems, opening doors and redirecting patrols. Mia watched for threats, ready to act if anyone approached. The humans moved like shadows, small in number but precise in every action. The aliens had weapons, numbers, and power, but they were unprepared for humans who could think and adapt so quickly. Jack reached the shield control room. The panels glowed faintly, showing the strength of the fleet. He signaled Sarah. "Charges are set. On my mark, we disable the shields." Sarah nodded, placing explosives carefully. Jack kept watch, scanning for patrols. From above, Lyra descended closer. She had to see him in action. Her hatred for humans battled with her fascination. Jack Harris had done what she did not expect any human to do. He had struck boldly, cleverly, and without fear. Kale noticed her distraction. "Princess, focus. If they succeed, the fleet will be exposed. You cannot let this happen." Lyra ignored him. "Let them try," she whispered. "I want to see how far they will go." Jack pressed the detonator. The shields flickered and went down. The fleet was exposed. Alien soldiers scrambled, confused and disorganized. Jack signaled his team. "Move in. We have one chance." The humans advanced. Sarah covered the front, taking out guards silently. Leo and Mia moved through the back, disabling systems and creating confusion. The aliens were powerful, but they were thrown into chaos. From above, Lyra watched, her emotions conflicted. She had expected humans to fail, to panic, or to die. But Jack and his team moved with confidence, skill, and precision. Her fascination grew stronger. She hated that she wanted to watch them succeed rather than stop them. Jack reached the fleet's main command center. The humans had done what no other force could do. They had reached the heart of the alien power. Jack signaled his team. "Place charges on the main control panels. When they go, the fleet will be useless." Sarah and Leo worked quickly, setting explosives. Mia tended to minor injuries, keeping the team focused. Jack watched the doors, ready to defend them if any aliens approached. Suddenly, Lyra landed her ship nearby. She stepped out, her armor shining in the faint light. She did not attack immediately. Instead, she observed, studying Jack as he led his team. Jack noticed her presence but did not flinch. He had faced many enemies and he knew she was powerful, but he also sensed something else: curiosity, maybe respect. Slowly, he lowered his weapon slightly. "You are brave," Lyra said softly, "and clever. Most humans would have died long ago." Jack met her gaze evenly. "We survive because we adapt and fight together. That's what humans do." Lyra studied him, her eyes searching his face. "Together?" she asked, almost in disbelief. "Even with enemies," Jack nodded. "Even with enemies. Survival is about trust and teamwork. And right now, that's what matters." Kale watched nervously. "Princess, do not let him distract you. The humans are dangerous, but we have strength in numbers." Lyra ignored him. She could not explain why she felt drawn to this human. Her hatred for humans was strong, but Jack Harris had earned a part of her attention. Jack looked at her calmly. "We don't have to fight you now," he said quietly. "We just want to survive and protect our people." Lyra's expression softened slightly. She had never seen an enemy speak with such honesty, calmness, and courage. "You are different," she admitted, though she did not want to fully say it. Jack signaled his team. "Charges are set. Move back." The humans retreated to a safe distance. The explosives detonated, sending a shockwave through the fleet. Alien ships exploded, alarms blared, and chaos spread. The humans ducked behind rocks as debris flew through the air. Lyra watched in shock. The humans had done what no one thought possible. Jack Harris had led them to victory, striking at the heart of her fleet and surviving. Kale looked furious. "Princess, we must fight back. They are too dangerous." Lyra shook her head slightly. "No, not now. I want to see him one last time." The humans regrouped, exhausted but triumphant. They had won a decisive victory, one that would change the course of the war. Jack looked at his team. "We did it," he said quietly. "But the war is not over. We survived tonight, and that is what matters." Sarah smiled. "You make it sound easy, Jack." Jack shrugged. "It's not easy, it's survival. And survival is what makes humans strong." Leo nodded. "We've shown them we are dangerous. The princess will not forget this." Jack looked at the horizon where Lyra's ship hovered, her eyes still on him. "Yes, she will, but curiosity can be more powerful than anger. We have learned that tonight." Mia added softly, "And we survive because we trust each other. That's what makes us strong." Jack smiled. "Exactly. Together we survive." Lyra watched from above, torn between duty and fascination. She hated humans, yet she could not ignore Jack Harris. His courage, intelligence, and calm under pressure made her question everything she had believed about humans. The night ended with the humans safe, the alien fleet in ruins, and the princess unsure of what she had witnessed. Her hatred had not vanished, but her curiosity and respect for Jack had grown. Jack and his team rested briefly, knowing that the next day would bring new challenges. They had survived the impossible, but the real test had been facing the enemy and coming out alive. Lyra remained above, reflecting on what she had seen. She hated to admit it, but Jack Harris had won more than battles. He had won her attention, her fascination, and perhaps even the beginnings of her heart. The stars shone over the battlefield, a silent witness to the courage and determination of humans. The war was far from over, but something new had begun, a bond forged in respect, bravery, and the chaos of battle. And for the first time in her life, Lyra did not look at humans with hatred alone. She saw something more, something strong, daring, and unbreakable. She saw a leader. She saw Jack Harris. The humans had survived, adapted, and triumphed. And the alien princess, who had hated humans all her life, had begun to see them differently. The war would continue, but the spark that had begun on the battlefield could change everything, if they both allowed it. The night ended, and with it, a story of bravery, respect, and the beginning of an unexpected connection. The battlefield was silent again, but the hearts of two warriors, one human, one alien, were no longer the same.